One day come, I hope you're prepared just as well as I am prepared. I'm no better than you, you're no better than me. I don't look frowning down on you. If I can help you, I'm gonna do my best to help you. But we want to, at this time, we have some guests on our show that's coming on concerning a very, very hot topic, and we do want to get this information out. This is a Christian news show, and we have all rights to say whatever we want to say, because we have freedom of speech to say and display what we want to say. You may not like it, you can change the channel, but that's okay, you have that right to. But these people here, they have the right to say what they like to say. If there any way that you can be assistance, any help to any one of these announcers that's coming up on the show today, and you have the rights and the time and the ability to be assistance to what we're going to be speaking on today, we would like for you to check in on our show today. At the end of the show, we'll have comments and things that you can leave, your number, information concerning your position that you would like to help out in this issue. We all have issues. We just need your help. So at this time, we have a gentleman on the phone, Tremaine Pond, and he's going to be giving you some information, and we're going to start the show from here. Here we go.
Good afternoon. This is T Pump, registration number 57771 out of Seattle, local 19. I want to begin by saying that one of the premium reasons why we're here is to talk about the issue of Longshore claims being repeatedly denied. Under the LHWCA, which is the acronym for Longshore Harbor Workers' Compensation Act, they, meaning the employers, along with the insurance carriers, as well as the unions, are involved in the conspiracy. We're here today to debunk everything that they've said, everything that they've done, to nullify us being able to get our due process and our benefits that we're legally and lawfully entitled to. We're not here to play, we're here to address the issues. We're tired. Many of us have been injured for years, being denied benefit repeatedly. I want to say this before I leave. I only have just a few minutes, but I want to say this. Under the Longshore Harbor Workers Act, claimants are not even supposed to litigate claims, and yet many of these claims go to the Ninth Circuit repeatedly. By showing that these claims are going to the Ninth Circuit, they're demonstrating that they really are not working in good faith. All right? My time is short. I hope I've helped some people. Again, my name is T. Palms, registration number 57771. I love everybody. Thank y'all for coming out.
Let them know we need the information of contact for the show. Okay. Information of contact. Again, let them announce his name.
One more time.
T. Palms.
A letter of information.
Letter of information.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you. It's getting ready to start
Thanks so much.
Start to get ready to sprinkle, and my Jerry curl's going to get wet, so we're going to try to get these other people out of the way for you. God bless and God keep you. Thank you for your time. Okay, we have a guest that's coming up and also adding on to the comment that you just heard and other issues that they are concerned with.
Hello, my name is Troy Finley. I am the president of the Bay Area chapter of the National Action Network. My point in this, and the way I'm looking at this, is what the brother had said earlier. There are people who are involved, but who aren't standing up to say anything. We have a group of people behind me. Every one of these people have their own specific claim. So it's not like we all have just one thing that we're all standing. Everybody has their own specific claim. And like the brother said, where's our union? The other day I went and I had a meeting and I asked them, give me the process of what happens once you get hurt. I need to know that just to be able to understand what I'm dealing with. I need to know the process. They went from once they got hurt to going to the hospital, to filing the claim, to talking to mediation, to talking to a lawyer and going to court, the whole thing, the one thing that they left out was their union rep. That was the one thing that was left out. They even brought up OSHA. Go figure. What their union, who they paid $400 to $700 a month for, is one entity that is supposed to be there. That's what we all grew up on, that idea of my union is here for me. That's why I want a union job, because I don't have somebody who's going to stand up and protect me. But as of now, we can all agree, anybody talk to their rep. And that's the problem. That's what we want to talk about. And that's who needs to be called out. I'm not saying that they're doing anything wrong, but you need to stand up. You need to come to the table. You need to come and sit down with these people and talk to them about what their claim is and why they have a problem. And a lot of this can go away.
Now, what I didn't mean to cut it on.
No, go ahead.
But we need to get this here thing settled. Now, the union that's representing here is not representing, is what you're saying?
That's what I'm hearing. Right. And that's not my words.
Right.
Mind you, that's when I talk to everybody.
Okay, so the union that's been represented for these great people are not representing these people properly.
Exactly.
And they're paying for their
that part. Yes.
What is the name of that union?
That's the local 10. You can hold up the sample. ILWU local 10 is the problem right now. So we want to sit down with. Okay. Now, if we can have that sit down, I'm pretty sure we can iron out at least most of this stuff.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Thank you so much for your
thank
time.
you. No problem.
Number 3, who's number 3? We have enough. Come on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on down. What's your name? Sean Roller. Sean Roller. Okay. Okay. It's on you.
Okay. So I was plugging in a refrigeration unit at the old Ports of Europe at a trade for my rig, and it blew up and electrocuted me at the same time, hit me with 480, and it compressed 4 vertebrae and gave me some nerve damage, and they were saying nothing's wrong with me. The doctor looked at the MRI and said, "Oh, you don't see anything wrong." And I said, "Are you looking at my MRI?" He goes, "Yeah, I got it right here." And I look, I go, "Yeah, that's me. Have you looked at it?" He goes, "I gave an extensive study." I go, "Really?" And I stepped around him. I go, "Excuse me," get out of the way, and I stood in front. I go, 20 years ago, I was in a motorcycle accident and they fused a couple of vertebrae. And you ain't mentioned it. You're a neurologist. But since you gave an extensive study, could you tell me which vertebrae I have fused? He said, "Huh?" He had no idea. And he said he gave an extensive study. So I told the doctor, she goes, I go, "I'm going to go see another one." She goes, "Oh, I'll set it up." I go, No. I'm going to go see one." So I went to an outside one, and he looked at it, and he goes, "You have 4 compressed vertebrae." He goes, "Let me guess, you have a headache on the top of your head, down the back that never goes away." I go, "That's what I've been telling him." And I go, "How did you come up with that?" And he shows me, and I go, "Do you think that's from my accident 20 years ago?" He goes, "Hell no." He goes, "Look at your fusion, that's all black. Look where these are compressed, red. That tells me it just happened." And he goes, "I'm looking everywhere for your nerve testing, and I don't see it." And what's nerve testing? They never did it. So he did nerve testing, found out I have nerve damage, and then he recommended a spinal surgeon. I waited 6 months to see the surgeon, and 3 days before, his RN calls me and says, "Oh, I forgot to give you an appointment for a close-up MRI." And I go, "My appointment's Friday." She goes, "Yeah, can you come at 8:30 in the morning? You'll see him at noon." I go, "Yeah." And the very next day, the spinal surgeon calls me, thinking I took it already, and goes, "Oh, well, I went over to close-up, and I don't think there's anything I can do."
Sure, go ahead.
I went over to close-up, it's not possible. I haven't taken it yet. And he got quiet, and I said, "Did you take an oath for this job?" And he got quiet again. I go, "You there?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Did you take an oath?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "You're not fulfilling it." So I called the lawyer. He called the state medical board, set me up 3 days. I had a state doctor appointment. He did a 2.5-hour examination, wrote a 37-page report on all my injuries, and their lawyer called him up and said he didn't agree with it, wanted him to change some things. And he goes, "I'm a doctor, you're a lawyer, you want to tell me what to put in there?" I don't think so. So they subpoenaed him to do a deposition. He did the deposition because they thought I fooled him. He assured him I didn't. So now 3 days ago, it's been 2 years now, they cut my benefits and everything. I got him reinstated, but 3 days ago I saw the state doctor again to do a reevaluation, and I just did it, and we're waiting on results. But the doctor forgot to send something in, so they cut my workers' comp for a year. I waited for a court date on that. 2 days before court, they just gave it back without even fighting. And that's where it's at now. So I'm still waiting for help. They have not helped me in 2 years. I have not worked, and I love being a longshoreman. I love my job. I love my bros, and I love to go to work every day, and now I can't.
How many years did you put in as an employee there?
Since 2004, and I got hurt on April 14th, 2022. So, and they're doing nothing to help me. I feel like they're finally acknowledging I'm injured. For 2 years, they're thinking I'm not even injured. Now they're acknowledging it, but they're saying it's from my motorcycle accident 22 years ago. Yet I lashed every day better than most. I mean, it was what I loved doing. Guys would go to sleep on break, and I'd go work out across the street, go for a run, do push-ups, back dips, and they just waiting to be helped still. But they're finally acknowledging I'm injured. We'll see if they do anything. But it's been a nightmare. Anyways, just want my life back.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that testimony concerning this issue. We have some more people behind you that's going to be coming up, but we're going to get right with who's the next?
Paul from the hall. All right. We're here to speak on the dirty dozen. All right? The dirty dozen. Okay? This has been going on for years. Okay? Too long. Enough is enough. So here we are. All right? We strengthen in numbers. And we strong. Solidarity, right? Oh, okay, yeah. It should be bigger. But the ones that are here is going to help make a difference. And we're glad you're here. Another thing is, let's touch bases on the ones who came before us. Okay? Who done passed on a lot of our loved ones. Okay? Let's talk about it. Our loved ones before us. Okay? How they were stealing money constantly, repeatedly, forced back to work. You know what I mean? Occupational health, the doctors, the lawyers. Well, get this. They all in the same cahoot and reaching in the same cookie jar. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? I'm standing with my Longshore brothers and sisters today. All right, we all here, and this needs to multiply. This not just on the West Coast. This from here to Alaska. It's going on around the world. A lot of legitimate claims have been denied for years. What are we going to do about it? Well, why? This is what we need to do about it. Continue to take a stand. We got to take a stand. We got our nieces and nephews and sons and daughters on the waterfront. Okay? They looking up to us. Let's keep it real. What are we going to do about it? Continue to take a stand. Okay? Even for the ones who retired. What about this policy? Life insurance? 20 years on the waterfront. Good God Almighty. I'm just finding out about that. What is up with that? Hidden backdoor information. What is that about? That's not right. Hey, listen, y'all. We have to feed our families. We have to go to and from work. We got to keep our car up to maintenance. Okay? We got to keep a roof over our head. Okay? We got to send our kids to school. Okay? Definitely, we got to eat. Hey, we got to continue to keep food in that refrigerator. Come on, we need to continue to take a stand, and we need to spread this word. We got to spread this message. We got to spread this message. Okay, now, here's another point. Now, I know you all probably look at your checks. Okay? Let me address this for you. Okay? Now, you're not going to find what's taken out of the wages. Okay? No. It's in the federal. So, listen. Let's do a ballpark figure. All right? If one of my vacation checks, $5,300, right? All right. Let's be frank with you. Hey, listen. I received back maybe $2,600 where my money went. Okay? The reason we don't know? Call the IRS. They'll tell you. They might not tell all of you, but if I'm telling them a message, they told me. So, hey, listen, trust me. It's in the wages. They taking money. Yes, PMA put in their own order to take money out of my check. Is it real? Yes, it's real. Do I want my money back? Yes, I want my money back. That's why we're here today. Come on now. We got to get real about this. They stealing. You know, my brother told me, he said, Paul, they not taking no millions or trillions. You know, he said, what? You know what, Paul? He said they taking zillions. Come on. The COVID pay. We didn't get paid for COVID pay. We got robbed. Come on. I need 2 or 3 mics. We got robbed. It should be packed down here. It should be longshoremen all out in the street, blocking traffic. Come on now. Yeah. And they sitting back. Sucking up. Shaping up. Come on. Too much of that. No, way too much of that. We got to speak up. Hey, our young people going to say, hey, hey, auntie, hey, bro, hey, sis, what's going on? Look at my check. I had to break it down to the young sister. It wasn't just about the check. I had to break it on down to her or the young brother on how it's really going on. So that's what we have to do. Hey, listen, we don't want our brothers and sisters to be blind coming in the door as a longshore. No, because we wasn't blind coming in. The old timers taught us everything, didn't they? Come on, y'all, talk to me. Didn't they teach us everything? Yes, they did. Whether it's good or bad, they taught us everything. Hey, bro, get out the bike. Get out. Hey, you know you're wrong. Stop that. Back up. See that load coming? Watch it. Hey, protect yourself. Watch yourself. Let's work together. You stick together. Watch each other's back. And that's, y'all know, that's what we have to do. That's what we intend to do. We got to keep it real. We got to inform our young people that's coming in. They don't know. We got to teach them the game. Remember they say that? Watch the game. Hey, well listen, got a surprise for you. This is the game, the Dirty Dozen. How about that? Y'all take that and pass it on.
Now, real quick before you leave. Now, you mentioned something about an insurance policy. The insurance policy. You said you was robbed with insurance policy. You know
That's okay. That's all right. No worries.
No. Didn't know anything about that. Till my 18th. No.
You didn't get paid from it?
No, I didn't see none of that. Okay, let me break this down. I'm glad you asked. Okay, let me break this down. Now, brothers and sisters, it started at $100,000, to my knowledge. That's what I heard. Are they right? No. Okay, the policy started at $100,000. All right, let me break it down for you. All right. So as we continue to work and be on the waterfront, it decreases down to 70,000. Where did up 30,000 go? To keep it on top, to keep it 100,000. No. They put that in their pocket for 30,000. Issue out a letter 18, 19 years later. Okay, they got a $70,000 policy. Well, for the retirees, where's our money? We're still here. A lot of people still active. Okay, so what they did was they took 70,000 from the ones who retired. Why is that? Listen, you cannot dip in a policy and take money from somebody who's living. Talk to me. Anybody here? Come on now. You cannot dip and dab in a policy. Hey, that's waste step. That's conspiracy. That's racketeering. Come on now. I'm just keeping it real. And then again, our young brothers and sisters, and also us as well, we did not know about this. We catching the tail end of it. So, they got all angles to get you. So we have to be on board. We have to listen to each other. Hey, that brother, that sister said something. That brother said something. Aunt said something. Auntie said something. Come on, y'all. We got to watch the game. We got to stand together. One of the Longshore brothers used to be in dispatch. Sean Graham said, "We all we got." We have to look out for each other. This is the Dirty Dozen. Watch the game. There is the game.
So much for that. We have a next testimony coming up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out to support us. My name is Stacy Rogers. I have been a longshoreman for 20 years this October. And I'm here to talk about the compensation and the compensation and a lot of other things. Anyway, first I'll start off with our slogan, which an injury to one is an injury to all. How hypocritical has that been? How hypocritical. I am ashamed to even hear it come out of someone's mouth that is a longshoreman at this point. I was assaulted in dispatch. I served as a dispatcher for several years throughout my time, and I was assaulted in 2022. It still hasn't been rectified, and I'm kind of at my wit's end with the local, because this is not what I signed up for. I have never pledged my allegiance or held my hand to anything other than the ILWU. And for me, that's a very sensitive issue, to pledge anything to anybody or anything. And to be told, basically neglected, help, no help. And we're here because basically what we have to call out, bottom line, and a lot of members don't necessarily agree, but it is just the truth. The truth needs to be told. Our officials from the international down throughout all the locals need to be held accountable. There needs to be something in place, an actual protocol that members can see, can read, to know what happens when you get hurt on the job. There is nothing at this time. You're just relying on word of mouth. And we have youngsters down there that are our nieces, nephews, sons, and daughters that don't know what to do because we don't know what to do. Because we've accepted the bullshit for so long. And it's time that it stops. Just like everything else is going on worldwide, it's being revealed. And it's just time for the blinders to come off of all of it. All of it. To be so proud of a union, but no, this is going on in the background, is an atrocity to me. It's more than saddening. It's depressing. You lose sense of hope at times dealing with things like that. And we're on this waterfront, and I look at the waterfront akin to the military and things like that. Because if we don't work, this country don't move. We are that important. But yet our importance is neglected or not even addressed when we're hurt. And depending on who you are, like myself, who speaks up a lot and has throughout my years, your help is far and few in between. But I'm here not just for my local, not just for my union, but for workers across the world who, in their own unions, in their own workplaces, they are being neglected. And without workers, what do we have? Everybody can't be the boss. Everybody can't be the owner. But the workers are what is keeping these people, the PMAs, the McKennas. We are keeping their descendants basically spoiled and without a thought for the most part. The waterfront is a $1 trillion industry. Anybody down there, and I've learned this the hard way, and a lot of people don't even understand, my fellow brothers and sisters, a lot of them don't even understand the importance of you opening your mouth on the waterfront. And you become a target. When you open your mouth and tell truths, you become a target. And unfortunately, we held our hand up, our right hand, and swore an oath to say that I will not knowingly another brother or sister or cause them distress. I've been distressing for a long time, telling the truth. I have a 28-year-old disabled son. And when I got onto the waterfront, I thought it was the greatest thing on earth because no longer I had to deal with a job and a manager or somebody, manipulating when you can take off work, what you can do, any of that. So it was such a blessing to me that I could take my son to all the therapies, everything he needed without jeopardizing a paycheck. And then fast forward 20 years and to be done, basically shitted on in my position because I was put out of a position that I was voted in for, and the company and union officials put me out where it should have been the membership. I was not only assaulted at work, I was given 30 days off for being assaulted because saying I caused the disruption. And see, the narratives on the waterfront, they go a mile a minute. And most people don't even talk to the person who is actually assaulted. They just rather hear stories. But I am not in any way, I might not like a lot of people, but I love human beings and I want us to work and provide for our families. And this is an easy job in the sense of what you do on the waterfront. Safety is imperative. Right now, we don't have a contract because of safety talks. That's how much they think of us. They tell you you got a contract, but legally, we don't have a contract right now. We don't. They can't print a book and give me a book telling you got to put an old contract together with a dispatcher newspaper, which if any of you paid attention when they did that in 2014, and then we finally got a book more than a year later, a lot of that stuff was not in those LOUs were not in that book. And see, they bank on people not reading. That's how they get over on a lot of things, because members don't read a lot of things, even myself included, because I didn't think I had to go down that rabbit hole when I came in. I thought, this is great. This is a union. They're not going to let me hang out and dry. No. Many, unfortunately, the truth must be told, many union leaderships around the world are in collusion with the companies, and ours is no different when we have some. It hasn't gone on throughout my time, but just like we're looking at this world right now, the corruption, all of it is seeping down into all companies. They're acting like they are politicians, and it is sickening. But let me get back to my actual, what I want to say. The history of the Longshore Harbor Workers Act. I'm going to read a little bit about it. The Longshore and Harbor Workers Compensation Act was created to provide compensation and medical benefits to maritime workers who are injured or become ill while working on navigable waters of the United States or in adjoining areas like piers, terminals, docks, etc. It was established to ensure that these workers have access to necessary support and resources in the event of a work-related injury or illness. And these are totally legitimate claims. Like Brother Vince here, you cannot deny he can't be playing about what happened to him in any respect. We've seen the pictures. This brother should not be here fighting for things like that. None of us should. We've seen what happened, but for his money to be cut off, him to go, and that's another thing, they want you to go through all kind of loopholes and basically get you to the point of depression where you give up. Because I've been there until Brother Paul came to me, I kind of gave up on the bullshit. But I always knew that, I had to face it still. And that's why I'm here. Because it gave me a reason to get up and go on, knowing that there are some other sisters and brothers that really do care and really pushing the issue at this point. Because the majority, unfortunately, are afraid of I don't know what. Because when you got that book and said you're a registered longshoreman, couldn't nobody tell me shit, because I worked since I was 14. And you tell me nobody's the boss of me? Okay, well now we gonna do what needs to be done and say what needs to be said. And that's how I roll. But then, unfortunately, roadblocks came upon me. And a lot of you know that. You know, just doing the right thing in the union gets you in trouble. And that's the sad part. That's why I'm here, and a lot of reasons, just to stop fronting. We got to tell ourselves to stop fronting. A lot of it is just plain, simple fear amongst the members. They're scared to speak up, but yet you raised your hand to say, you know, basically, I run this. As members, we all run it. But it's not supposed to be top down. It's bottom up. But we letting them meet without agreements. We're letting them meet in secret, then come back and say, oh, we got this from the LRC, or we did this. No membership approval, no votes in the membership, nothing. You know, there are cases where members were not disciplined for actual issues that should have been disciplined, and the company and our union agreed to not discipline members. I mean, how does that work? But when it comes to people they don't like, they quick to throw false citations and everything else against you. So that's where I'm here, why I'm here, to drum up support for all of it. All of it. Workers everywhere are going through hell. And we don't want to just get up to work, we work to survive and feed our family and enjoy life, learn something. Hopefully you learn something out of your employment. But right now, it's like we're fighting a never-ending battle. And like I said, I've been here for 20 years, and it's never been this corrupt. I don't paint everything as rosy, and it's never going to be perfect. I don't expect it. But the level of corruption in this nation and in our workplace is at an unprecedented high. I'm tired of it. We're tired of it, and it has to change. Everything is being revealed. There's a textbook. These lawyers that work for represent us on the waterfront and the administrative law judges, they've written a book to circulate amongst themselves to teach them how to deny your claims. Yes, as brother is saying, it's in the 7th edition now. If you're interested, you can find it on Amazon. They teach each other how to deny your claims. And if you cannot read and comprehend or have someone to interpret exactly what it is going on, you are SOL. You know what that means. And this book is like their Bible to how to treat you. We're going to keep them hanging on for such and such months, even though the Longshore Harbor Workers Compensation Act has specific guidelines for injuries and how much money a member should get, how much time off they should get. All these things, a lot of these things are very specified. However, they quick to put you back to work. And that's another thing, members who are hurt, unfortunately, some don't have ways or means to hang on and fight the fight, and they're forcing them back to work, which negates the whole purpose of the injury. So they're going to say, oh, you're really not that injured. You came back to work. How does that work? So other brothers and sisters, they're going to think the same thing. Well, it's not even worth the fight because they just going to send me back to work. No, we as a collective are accepting the bullshit, and it stops now. It has to stop. And okay, and I'm gonna get off real quick. And the other part of the code, I'm gonna talk about the COVID pay. This appreciation pay, COVID pay that we got for working through COVID. It's pennies on the dollar. pennies for what PMA and these shipping companies made in the last 4 years. You know, it's more billionaires made in the last 4 years than in this entire country. I mean, just at that specific time period off of this COVID madness. But we got pennies for it, not a single day of work off. I mean, our workplace didn't stop. It didn't change. It was like COVID didn't even exist in the sense of work. There's no such thing as work from home on the dock or anything of the sort. So you got to be there. And then others have to ask the question, I'm getting off, but beg the question of why such workers, that's what I say, we're so important in this world as dock workers across the world, is commerce. We weren't coerced into vaccines. The railroad was not coerced into vaccines. That begs the question that they know it was harmful. They didn't want us to be sick. We had to get the boxes out. I'm gonna stop. And I guess that's about it. And the other thing, I'm sorry, we're exposed to chemicals every day on the waterfront and in the hall and everywhere else. And people need to start speaking up about this because the levels of cancer that members are having is astronomical. We're breathing in this stuff every day. And claims are being denied even on stuff like that. So yes, please tell your brothers and sisters what's really going on and let them know they need to open their mouths. I thank you all for coming out and get on our union reps because that really is the crux of the problem. Put fire under their ass so they will move and represent us properly where we won't feel like we're out here on our own even though we paying dues to a union. Thank you.
Okay. We have number 6. Now we are editing this show because we only have 28 minutes, like I explained to you from the beginning. So a lot of the things that you're hearing, you may not hear it all the way through because it's not our rules. I said the rules before we got started. So if I'm not up here talking about my grandkids right now. I got a bunch of them. But we're up here to discuss an issue that is reaching issues, that's causing issues. And we need to be on the issue. Or we can go ahead and do Facebook Live like I'm doing right now, and you can let everybody hear what's going on. But as far as W.C. McClinton Christian News Comcast show, there's only going to be 28 minutes. The lady that just spoke, I would like for her to get all the names of all the people that are speaking, because you're real good at this, girl. Get everybody's name, and we're going to have a slot of testimonies. We're going to post those testimonies so that everybody's voice can be heard. Now, the profanity part, you already know what's going to happen, right? If you turn the radio on and they bleeped it, we're going to bleep that. Because this is the Christian News Show. We're not afraid of what we stand for, just like you shouldn't be afraid of what you stand for. But we're not telling you what to say and how to say it. But as far as this show, this is how we get out on it, okay? We have another, yes, sir.
2 points that I have to address here.
Yes, sir. And he's going to address the 2 points that I made.
Yes, sir.
Janover Street,
sir.
Janover Street, Longshoreman.
Talking to Mike.
Janover Street, Longshoreman. I've been a longshoreman since 1996. I just want to say 2 things that the sister said, Sister Stacy said, is that one, we have a contract. We ratified it. You know, even though the majority of the contract was passed by LA, the majority of people passed it in LA, we have a contract. Also, we accepted the COVID pay that was in the contract. So I just want to make sure that that's understood so that there's no confusion. But we don't have a contract, so I just got to mention that. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah. Good point. Now we have a couple more people that's going to come up and speak. We are recording 2 shows. 2 of the shows are 28 minutes long. So the reason we did the numbering system so that everyone can get part of the 28 minutes on this show. Everything else will be titled as testimonies. But we do want to get this announcement out. We have the next person up. Who's the next person up? All right, here he comes. All right. All right. Here you go, sir. Give your name, please.
My name is Kenneth Neal, 9586, registered number. Okay, my name is Kenneth Neal, I'm 9586. I was injured 4/18/2013, and I have been diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome / RSD. I was hit while working at Berth 23 while unloading the America Cup yachts boats, and a partner of mine was not looking at the gearbox, and these are the real large shackles that can hold up to about 40,000 tons. And he was not looking, and it hit my left arm, knocking my nervous system off. So now I have complex renal pain syndrome for life. And what my hand does is swells with, just standing up here will swell enormous. So like the movie Hellboy. And I've been stuck with this for many years, and my case had been controverted. I tried going through the process with attorney. I tried the process with the attorneys. They undermined my whole case, and I've been fighting them ever since. My attorney dropped me, and I had to pick up my case on my own. I went through the BRB, the Ninth Circuit. And if you look me up, I'm in the Ninth Circuit. My case is still pending, but they still denied me. And I was first heard at Ports of America, and then was sent back early to SSA. And while doing a release signal, my hand swelled twice the size. And ever since then, it's been problems ever since. And I was cited also while doing my job, and I went straight to emergency. So you don't wish this on anyone. So I'm just so honored today to be able to speak with everyone and tell them what I'm going through and what we're all going through, which is you're not getting any help from the union, and these are legitimate claims, and it has to stop. And you know, an injury to one is an injury to, supposed to be an injury to all, but we're not getting any help. So we want to try to combat this issue and get some real help and close out our claims. And we just thank everyone for coming out and participating and helping us with the cause. But the fight is not over, and we have to continue to fight. So I just want to thank everybody that's here, and we just want to expose these individuals that's not helping us, which is the shipping company, the judges, BRB, OSHA. Nobody's there for us. And they are the dirty dozen. It's a few dirty dozen.
Okay, real quick before you leave, because I want to make sure that we get this here right. When you was injured on the job, ambulance took you away, or how did you leave as far as the injury on the job?
Well, I wasn't let off by ambulance, but on my last day, I went straight to emergency. But I didn't know how bad things were. But pictures on my poster shows what has happened. And then the photos that I got from the company was a shackle that couldn't even hold maybe at least 10,000 pounds. And this is just how bad these companies will bait and switch pictures and just railroad and undermine your claims.
So you was injured on the job, and they denied your claim as your injury was on the job. And you've been fighting this for how long?
Since 2013.
And it's 2024.
I have a rare disease that's been around since the 1800s. RSD, complex regional pain syndrome in the left arm, and it's a neurological injury where my nervous system, it doesn't flow the blood to the left arm, and my hands just swell for no apparent reason, and it's painful.
And how long you been paying dues to your union to be employed at this job?
Since 1998.
Wow. You heard it yourself. We have another testimony coming up. We want to thank you for viewing the W.C. McClinton Christian News Show at this time. W.C. McClinton Christian is our CEO.
Hello everybody, my name is Harold Aday. I'm 101148. 101148. I was in the mechanics program, you guys remember, they started, and I went to all their classes, and I got a job working at Traypac, and a while in Traypac, but in 2004 or 5, a guy named Sean, he got elevated to be a clerk, and everybody was in uproar because you had to have 5 years to go into the clerks. Right. And while they was arguing about that, they got 30 mechanics came in the back door as mechanics, and that kind of shocked me because I was in the program, and these guys were better mechanics than I was. So I kind of like went home, sat down, and I came back, and I finally continued to try to get my job. And I finally got in as a mechanic at 30, but Pete Daly wanted me to go to 24 to work with the other mechanics. Everything was going good. I was a chassis mechanic, and they put me in the reefer department, and I was unplugging and hooking up reefers. And before I came into the Longshore, I've been a union carpenter and lather, and like every Friday, roll up all the cords. So working the lanes was a breeze to me. And everybody was telling me to slow down because I had it down to a science. But I did a lot of repetitions, and what happened, I hurt my left shoulder. And when I got hurt, is a bulletin board came out saying that if you get hurt, you better get an attorney because the shipping yard, they controverting everything. So what happened is that these guys heard the, excuse me for a second. The guys at 24 heard some other fellas talking about me to the business agent. So we had a meeting, and in that meeting, they was trying to get me to come back to work. I said, I'm still hurt. I can't come back to work. But I'm gonna start telling names now. Guy named Bullet, they call him Frank? Bullethead? What's his real name? Frank? Frank came down and said, Harold, do you got an attorney? I said, no. He gave me a card. And I called that card a lady named Miss Rose, and she told me to call, I'm sorry. Anyway, welcome Pat. Patrick Stredge. Patrick Stredge was my attorney, and he wrote a note talking about to Suzanne, the insurance lady, right here from Lawrence Barnes. She told me to go to her doctor at Kaiser. When I went there, my mother was about to pass away. I didn't make it back home.
Excuse me, brother, how you doing?
That's fine, no worries.
And later on, she called Kaiser and said, we're not going to pay for Harold's care no more, so they cut me off. But luckily, my wife had Kaiser, so I was still doing my treatment. So that's where it all started. So I had 3 attorneys. Patrick Riggs, Steve Bomber, and this guy named Truly, his name is Truly. So anyway, everybody got paid. One guy got paid $10,000. Other guy paid $21,000. The last guy got paid $35,000. Because what the insurance people did, they went to collect my unemployment. Instead of putting me on workers' comp for Longshore, they put me on state disability. They exhausted my state disability, and then they put me on Longshore, and then they just cut me off. I had to file for food stamps for me and my son. He was 9 months. Sorry, not about kids. I had to file for food stamps to survive. And then I've been fighting them. And Tommy Clark told me, son, keep all your paperwork. You might need it one day. So today's the day. Because I had all my paperwork. I've been out since 2007. Now here it's been like 16 years. 16 years. And I had to sell because my sister was trying to sell the house. And I had to call the lady from the benefit board. I said, I need my money because we about to lose our house. Get money in. So anyway, what they're doing is that they're taking our money, or they took my money, trying to make me, they don't want me to, they try to put me to work, they don't want me to come back to work because I was with the Henry Friends Mechanics. If I came back, I'd jump over them. They have to work 6 months to get their A-book. We have to work 4,000 hours when we get our A-books. And then when I found out, I came back in 2019, 2020, because my doctor gave me release to go back to work. But I thought I was a B person still. But back in 2012, they sent me to 4 or 5 different doctors, knowing that in 2012 they gave everybody the A-books they had. After 5 years, you get your A-book. I didn't know that. And now I got all this paperwork. I did all this paperwork. I got a stack of paperwork right here. I sent all the legitimate doctors to the dozens, right? And they still deny my claim. And what's happening that the 2 LS-208 form that we signed, you gotta look at it. I signed mine at, it was $126,000. I signed that, but somebody was feeding me some paper. I got another LS-208 form. It was $136,000, but it says $10,000 for lawyer's fees. So somebody pocketed my money. So that's where I'm at right now. When I met Brother Paul, I seen him at the hospital. I said, brother, I know you. He's on the drill team. He goes, brother, we got a thing going on. I couldn't even talk no more. I said, man, and he said, come to my church. We can pray for you. Now with this church, I said, I got to join this church. I get my blessing. And all the way, but anyway, I got all the paperwork to start something going on here. Now, I get all depressed. I got too much paperwork. Because what I sent them, they sent it all back to me. Because I wrote to the benefit board,
Benefit Review Board.
Yeah, benefit review board. I wrote them. They're all in the hoops with everybody. Same hoop. They sent my stuff back and they cover up papers. And I found what they was doing. They changed my numbers on my files. I caught that. I went to the judge. I told him I got a learning disability and I got retested again for on social service. They get retested again. I got retested again and gave it to the judge. The judge said, "You don't know disability. You're doing good in this court." You know. I said, "Yeah, but these guys did something really crazy to me. They made me sign something I shouldn't sign. And then they're taking all this money. Everybody made like $80,000 off my money. And now I had to force myself. And then they told me if I retire, they're going to kick. They took my name off the. I'm out of. They registered me. I'm not going to be a longshoreman no more. So sorry if I'm not too good. Well, my thing is that it's different from everybody else because I came in 2001, and I know that I wanted to be, since I was in construction, and I know mechanics and clerk jobs, so I was going for those particular jobs. So that's all I wanted. So when I got in 2005, I worked 2006, and then 2007, that's when I got hurt because it kept me, I was good in the lanes and everything. And I thought maybe when it slowed down, I would have to do paperwork. But then when other family members came in, to put it hard on me, that's when I started getting discrimination and stuff like that. So that's my story. I'm sorry if you guys don't hear me that very well, because I'm kind of nervous a little bit. But I think I'm about to lose my family home. That's what I'm here for, really.